Chen Yan is the heir to the Chen family, and it's his wedding day. But as always, he disobeys his family and prefers fun and games over his own wedding, failing to show up for the ceremony. The Chen family has given up hope on him. Meanwhile, his bride, Lanlan, faces criticism on her wedding day from her stepsister, Ren, who wants to join the Chen family. Ren laughs at Lanlan, telling her that she would never marry a useless man like Lanlan's groom. Ren would always choose Yan's elder brother, Xuan, over him because Yuan is the one running the Chen business empire. He has made the company profitable. Lanlan gets angry and reminds Ren that whatever she thinks of her husband is none of her business and that she is already married to Yan. She warns Ren never to mess with her mother's medical bills. This angers Ren, who tells Lanlan that she is forgetting that her husband is still missing. Lanlan can only argue if she sees her husband here in this home. Lanlan knows exactly where to find her husband, Yan. On the other hand, Yan stops his expensive car near his friends. This is where they party and race cars every day. One of Yan's friends is amused that it's the talk of the town that Chen Yan is getting married today, but instead of going to his bride, he is still here. They laugh when Yan receives a call from his mom asking him to come home. But he sternly refuses to go to his bride and calls off the wedding. His friends laugh when he hangs up the call, teasing him about missing the chance to be with a pretty partner. But Yan has made up his mind he's not yet ready for a relationship. His friends are surprised, wondering what kind of woman Yan would choose, but he tells them to stop the useless discussion and start tonight's car race. The crowd cheers him on, and suddenly a car stops near him. Yan's bride steps out of the car in her wedding gown, but since he's never seen her, he doesn't recognize her. Yan's friends tell her to go back, saying that it's not a bride's place here because in a few minutes they will start the race. Lanlan replies that no one ever made the rule that a bride can't take part in a race. Yan appreciates her courage and wonders if she's a runaway bride. He announces that she'll get the spot to race, as he makes the rules here. Lanlan thinks her husband seems like a nice man, unlike what his brother Xuan says that he's a bad man. Before the race starts, she tells Yan that she has a request. Yan agrees that she can ask for anything if she wins the race. She knows it's necessary to take Yan home, so she agrees to wait and make her demand once she wins the race. Yan's friends warn her that she probably doesn't know who Yan is. He's a winning participant in the race, and she'll lose easily. But Lanlan accepts the challenge and refuses to use any racing car, wanting to participate in her own car. They smile at her choice, and soon after, the race begins. Yan gets annoyed as he watches her car pull ahead of his. His friends are sure Yan will win as always, so they don't even bother watching who's winning. To their surprise, instead of Yan's car, Lanlan's car arrives first. She has won. As promised, Yan asks her what her demand is, and he's ready to do anything she says. She throws the wedding flowers at Yan, asking him to take her to his home and marry her. At first, he thinks she's a gold digger like every other girl, wanting to benefit from his wealth, so he refuses. But she whispers in his ear that since he promised to do anything if she won, it would be breaking his commitment if he refuses. He pulls her closer, and she grabs his arm, asking him to take her home. He agrees. Meanwhile, Yan's parents are eagerly waiting for their new daughter-in-law to bring their son home. Yan's mother is afraid that Lanlan is a fragile girl, and Yan might hurt her feelings. She worries he'll bully her, but at that moment, both Yan and Lanlan enter the house, and they cheerfully greet them. Yan sulks, as he has brought Lanlan home as she wished, but he's not ready to marry her. Lanlan knows she can't force him, and Yan sternly tells them that it's his choice whether he marries someone or not. He then requests his parents to help Lanlan find a cab to return home safely. His mother embarrassingly asks him to behave politely, as they already have their marriage certificate. Yan takes the certificates from his mother's hand, intending to protest against the registration of the marriage without his consent. But before he can say anything, his mother pretends to have a severe headache and says she can't stay awake because it's so late. Yan's father tries to cheer him up, saying that it's been 3 years since Yan's beloved girlfriend passed away and he should try to move on. But seeing that Yan is in no mood to listen, his father excuses himself, saying he has a lot of unfinished work to do. Yan helplessly watches what has just happened to him. The next morning, Yan wakes up and, after looking around to make sure Lanlan isn't anywhere in the room, he picks up his phone. His friends have sent him voice messages inviting him to a party where a lot of pretty girls will be attending. Yan doesn't want Lanlan to hear the voice messages. He looks around and plays another message where his friend mocks him, saying that now it will be hard for him to step out of the house since he's married and his wife won't let him out. He finally starts replying that he has no attachment to his wife, that it's a forced marriage, and the bond between them is too fragile to stop him from attending such parties. As he says this, Lanlan arrives at the doorstep and overhears his conversation, where his friend says that he will arrange for a lot of pretty girls of his type to be at the party. At the same time, Yan turns around and finds Lanlan standing in the doorway, listening to his conversation. He feels embarrassed and freezes in place. But to tease Lanlan, he confesses to his friend that he will come to the party. After hanging up, Yan turns to Lanlan and asks why she came into his room. She tries to convince him that, even though they're in a marriage bond that he clearly didn't want, they should at least start living together. But Yan sternly refuses and coldly tells her that she's here because his parents wanted him to marry her. She will never get his love or companionship in this relationship. The only thing she will get is his surname, and he will also pay her bills. He gives her a bank card and leaves the room. Lanlin feels relieved because she needed money for her mother's treatment, and this money will help her. She turns to say thanks, but Yan is already gone. She decides she will keep track of the money she spends and eventually pay him back. That evening, Yan joins his friends at the party as promised, enjoying the company of pretty girls when he receives a message from the bank. Lanlin has just withdrawn some money from his card. He doesn't mind and continues drinking. Meanwhile, Ren shows up at the bar's door and immediately calls Lanlin to tell her what her husband is doing. She makes the situation worse by telling Lanlin that she's married a useless playboy who can't even spend a whole day with his new bride. Ren laughs, saying that tomorrow's newspaper will reveal that playboy Yan was partying with his girls on the second day of his marriage, while Ren will marry the true heir of the Chen family. She hangs up and then takes a picture of Yan with his girlfriends and sends it to Lanlin. Lanlin gets angry, thinking that a failed marriage has already ruined her mother's life, and now her mother is sick in a hospital bed. She vows never to let anyone ruin her life. She will not follow in her mother's footsteps. Yan gets drunk with his friends. One of them toasts to him and asks him the secret to being a successful trader, since last week he made millions with his winning strategy. Yan cheers and says that he just plays it nicely, inviting all his friends to a dinner party the same night. They appreciate Yan for having good control over his newlywed wife. As a playboy, he's living the same life after marriage as he did before, never getting attached to anyone, which he believes is the secret to a fuller and happier life. Yan's girlfriend wants to know if his wife will approve of her if she finds out that he's with another girl. Yan smiles and assures her that he doesn't care about his wife, so she can drink with him as long as she wants. Suddenly, he hears Lanlin's voice approaching him. He gets stunned, but the security stops her from entering the VIP area. She doesn't mind and uses a waitress disguise to make her way into the VVIP area. She stops the cart at Yan's table. When he comes to ask her what she's doing here, Lanlin tells him that she's here to take him home, but first, she wants to get to know him. So, she will join his party and become part of the group for a while. Yan allows her to stay, and his friends, not knowing she's his wife, mock him for liking a girl who serves beer at the bar. They say he has significantly lowered his standards. Lanlin makes a subtle gesture to have the girl removed from her place. As she sits there, one of Yan's stupid friends suggests that Yan should take the beer girl home, since his wife will probably just serve him tea. That angers Lanlin, but the friend continues to mock her, saying that Yan has dated stars and top models, and she's nothing compared to them. Even if he divorces his current wife, she will never have a chance to be close to him. Lanlin, angered, breaks the glass on the table when they bring up the subject of divorce on their second day of marriage. Lanlin is surprised to hear that Yan has had many girlfriends, but at the same time, one of Yan's friends offers Lanlin a chance to spend quality time with him. That statement angers Yan, and he urges Lanlin to go home. But she's ready to tease Yan now, sitting down and telling him she won't leave yet. She approves of Yan's friend's request to dance in front of them. She says that if she does so, he will tell her a secret about Yan. Seeing that his friend is eyeing her with wrong intentions, Yan insists that she leave immediately. But Lanlin wants Yan to taste his own medicine. She shares that he enjoys being here every day, so why is it so bad if she just wants to dance for a bit? She sips her drink and starts dancing, while Yan watches her with fury in his eyes. Yan gets so drunk with anger, but when his friend asks if he wants to take the girl home because Yan isn't interested, he throws the glass on the floor and shouts at his friends to stop drinking. He then covers Lanlin's body with his coat to protect her from the lustful eyes of his friends and prepares to take her home. She smiles and tells Yan that she has learned some beautiful dance moves, so if he doesn't go home with her, she will start dancing again. Yan admits that he is terrified for her safety, but Lanlin insists that if he stays, she will dance in a more revealing dress. She even asks a girl to bring her a similar dress. The girl brings it to the table. Lanlin watches the dress on the table and gives Yan 30 seconds to decide whether he wants her to dance in front of his friends or if he will go home with her. It's a tough decision, but Yan agrees to go home. Before leaving, he tells his friends that he will pay the bill, so even though he is leaving, they can continue the party. As Yan turns to go to the car, his friends make lustful comments about Lanlin's body. Lanlin tells Yan to wait for her and that she will come after completing some unfinished business. She shows her phone to Yan's friends, where she recorded their conversation by the restroom. They were saying that they don't like Yan, but since he pays for their parties, they tolerate his presence, calling him a cash machine. She shows them the video and warns them that if they don't stop meeting him, she will show this video to him. On the other hand, Yan is disgusted by his friend's behavior toward his wife. He secretly calls his father, standing outside the bar waiting for Lanlin, and tells him to cancel the deal with the Wang family. Surprised, his father asks why he's doing this, as the boy is Yan's friend from childhood. But Yan doesn't explain and just remembers the lustful comments made about Lanlin. Yan takes Lanlin home and tells her that she will never dance in front of strangers again because he dislikes it. Lanlin says that she will not go to such places if he dislikes it, and she won't dance there if he doesn't go either. Yan smiles, understanding that it's her way of keeping him away from those friends and the bar. He pulls her closer and likes the way she's threatening him, but Lanlin tells him that she's just making an agreement that spouses do. As she turns to leave, Yan throws her onto the bed and asks if she's ready to do other things that spouses do. Lanlin pushes him away, flips him onto the bed, and refuses. At the same time, she reminds Yan that his parents want them to start their roles as interns in the company, so he should think about it. His parents are watching them with surprise, hiding behind the door. They're pleased that Lanlin is a strong girl who will manage their son's messy lifestyle. Moreover, they have 2 sons, Yan and Xuan, but Xuan is an adopted son. Yan's father shares that he will only retire peacefully if Yan is running their company, since Yan is their biological son. However, his mother is still worried about Yan, as it's been 3 years since his girlfriend, whom he loved deeply, passed away, and he has still not moved on. His father reassures her, telling her to let Lanlin work her magic and bring Yan back to a good life, while they should enjoy their retirement. The next morning, Yan goes to the graveyard and places a bouquet of flowers on her grave. He says that he is married to a beautiful girl now. She is pretty and nice, like her, but she is not as obedient as she was. He tells her that he misses her and has missed her every single day for the past 3 years. Then, he sits down for a while when his phone rings. It's Lanlin, reminding him that it's their first day as interns at the company, and he must not forget that. From his tone, she guesses that he's a bit upset. She tells him that he can turn down the offer to join the office, but Yan insists that he will join after her, so she should go to the office and wait for him there. As she hangs up Yan's call, she receives a call from her mom asking if her dad is forcing her to marry into the Chen family. She tells her mom that she doesn't need to obey her father if she doesn't want to marry there. She shares the great news that she's no longer sick and that they don't need the money for treatment anymore, so they can return home. This brings tears to Lanlin's eyes because it's too late for her to back out now. She calms her mom, but her mom blames herself for holding Lanlin back for so many years. She says that if it weren't for her health issues, Lanlin would have met someone she truly loves by now. Lanlin tells her mom that she is happy now and content with her husband, Yan. Lanlin reaches the office and waits for Yan to arrive outside the building. As he arrives, she tells him that, according to his parents' wishes, they will both start working as interns in the company. He pats her hair, smiling, and moves inside. As he goes in, Ren arrives and asks why she is here. Upon discovering that they both are starting to work in the company, Ren reminds her that the company is well run by the other son, Xuan, and Yan is just a playboy, as everyone knows. He can't handle work here. Ren accuses Lanlin of wanting to attract Xuan because she wants him for herself. After all, the Xuan is the one who runs the company, and by marrying him, she will ultimately become the owner of the Chen Group. Before leaving, she pushes Lanlin to the ground. At the same time, Xuan watches her lying on the ground and helps her get up. Ren accuses her of being a gold digger who is here to trap him. Lanlin introduces herself as Yan's wife. Xuan smiles, saying he knows his irresponsible brother didn't attend his own wedding. However, he mentions that Yan has arranged a wedding gift for her, which is upstairs. He tries to hold her hand, but she quickly moves away. This angers Ren, who questions her position in Xuan's eyes, but Xuan ignores her and moves on. The guards stop Ren at the door and prevent her from entering. Lanlin and Xuan enter the room, and he asks her to come closer to him, saying it will benefit her. After all, he is just trying to bond with his new family member. Knowing his intentions, Lanlin immediately texts Yan to let him know she is in Xuan's office. Xuan then shares that Yan is a useless man who has lost his direction in life after losing his ex-girlfriend. He says it won't be convenient for Lanlin to live as his wife. He grabs her hand and urges her to think about him instead. Meanwhile, Mom and Dad are waiting for Yan in the office. Dad is angry that, as usual, Yan will excuse his absence later, while they need him to act as a responsible person now. Mom sends him a picture of Lanlin and Xuan standing together at the office. As soon as Yan receives the message, he rushes to the office to stop his brother from causing harm to his wife. At the same time, Lanlin slaps Xuan for trying to touch her. Xuan gets angry at the insult and claims that he is better than Yan in every way. He says he is the one who made the company successful over the years, even though he is the adopted son. He acts this way because he heard that Dad is trying to make Yan CEO, while he thinks he is much better. Xuan is even more jealous because, after just a few days of Lanlin marrying Yan, she is siding with him as well. Instead of listening to his rhetoric, Lanlin turns toward the door to leave, but the cunning Xuan tells her that he bolted the door already and wishes for Yan to see her in his arms so that he can feel terrible about his existence. Lanlin is losing control over her temper, but Xuan tells her that no one will hear anything because the room is soundproof. This works in Lanlin's favor, and when Yan opens the door, he sees Lanlin angrily beating Xuan. She turns around and sees Yan standing behind her. She takes Yan along to start their workday, as much time has already been wasted. Before leaving, she tells Xuan to work on his muscles before thinking of fighting a fragile-looking girl next time. Yan looks jealous, knowing that the whole office will talk about the fight between his wife and his brother. He asks Lanlin to stay closer to him today. At the same time, a secretary announces that the CEO and his wife have just arrived. They see Mom and Dad coming toward them, and Lanlin knows it's not a good time for them to be here, as they will find out about the fight between her and Xuan. However, Mom and Dad look happy to see Lanlin and Yan together at the office. They greet them and leave after telling Yan that they have decided to promote him as the next general manager of Chen Group once he completes 1 month of training at the office. They wish them good luck on their first day at the office. As they leave, Xuan gets very angry when he overhears office colleagues talking about how the real and biological son of the Chen family is finally going to become the boss. Since no one outside the family can be the heir, Xuan angrily promises himself that he will make this month miserable for Yan. That night, Lanlin spends a lot of time checking the company's financial details. She discovers that, even though Xuan has run the company well, there are some funds that were transferred without reason. But Yan combs Lanlin's hair, not seeming interested in the work details at home. But since Lanlin had a fight with Xuan and knows he could stab them in the back, she wants to be cautious and know everything. Yan takes the tablet from her and scrolls through the gallery. He then puts it back and complains that there is too much light in the room and he wants to sleep. Yan wants to spend some time with Lanlin, but she hides the tablet under the quilt so the light won't disturb him. Yan can't complain and goes to sleep anyway. On the other hand, Xuan knows about all the ongoing deals with other companies. He spreads the news among the shareholders and investors that Yan is taking over the company as general manager. He reveals all of Yan's projects to the competitors, which will ruin their success. Xuan wants to prove to everyone that he is the real face of the company who can benefit them. After hanging up the call, Xuan makes another call and asks why he hasn't heard any bad rumors about his brother Yan this month. Apparently, Xuan has hired someone on a hefty payroll to spread bad rumors about Yan. The next day, Lanlin tries to wake up Yan for the office meeting, but he hesitates to get up. Lanlin tells him she will count to 3 and shows him her fists. Knowing that she is strong enough to give any guy a good beating, Yan immediately gets up and starts dressing for the office. At the same time, Mom brings breakfast into the room because she heard they were arguing over something the night before. She wants to know if everything is fine between them. Lanlin assures her that they are fine and eats the breakfast, but Yan is in a hurry and doesn't let Lanlin finish her meal. Mom is thrilled to see that her son is finally serious about the family business. It's like the sun has risen in the east today. That day, Lanlin fixes Yan's meeting with Huang. She puts the file down and leaves, but she gets worried when she sees Huang's business group file and makes a call. At the time of the meeting, Lanlin waits for Yan, but he leaves the office for some important work before the meeting. Finding her alone, Xuan asks why Yan left her alone. She refuses to answer and turns to leave, but Xuan smiles at her and says that her husband Yan will not return soon. He has gone to enjoy his favorite friend's company, and like a dog, he can't change. He shows her an old picture of Yan sitting with a girl at a hotel. Lanlin recognizes the picture from the second day of their marriage. She taunts Xuan, telling him that he can keep trying to disrupt them with old pictures and outdated tricks, but she trusts Yan. Xuan is so determined to ruin his brother that he decides to destroy his happily married life. Lanlin enters the meeting room where Mr. Huang is already waiting for Chen Yan. He gets excited to see a girl show up instead of him. Initially, he shows his anger, stating that he will not deal if Yan doesn't come. However, Lanlin assures him that they should hear the business plan first before deciding to back out, as their company will promise huge profitability. She pours wine into the glass to compensate for Yan's absence and tells him that she will drink 3 glasses of wine as an apology for Yan's absence. Huang is impressed by her bravery and offers her to sit down, but Lanlin looks a bit drunk now. She begins to explain the project, but one of Huang's friends intervenes as he wants to enjoy the drinks first. Lanlin drinks again but senses something odd, so she texts Yan to come and pick her up quickly because these men don't seem trustworthy. Huang offers to drop her off at home while he wraps his arm around her. She refuses to go home with him and says that she is Yan's wife. One of the colleagues stops Huang from harassing Lanlin, but he refuses to listen. He finds it more exciting to flirt with Yan's own wife. Lanlin pushes him aside and picks up the phone. She calls Yan and prays he picks up, but Huang snatches the phone from her hand. She grabs the wine glass and breaks it on his head before running away. Security enters the room to ask if everything is fine. Huang watches the blood oozing from his injured head and asks the guards to catch the girl. Lanlin hides behind a door while the guards pass by her. She sends another message to Yan, telling him to never come to her again if he can't save her now. Meanwhile, Yan finalizes a deal with a company with the help of his uncle. His friend tells him that Xuan sent him money to keep Yan distracted so he can continue playing. But Yan hangs up as he is not interested. Then he looks at the numerous messages from Lanlin and rushes to get her. Meanwhile, drunk Lanlin falls down the hotel's stairs. Yan brings her home while she is still unconscious. Yan is furious at what Huang did to his wife and makes a call to his friend to punish Huang by crippling him, as he is a corrupt man. His friend assures him that he will do the job without leaving any evidence. His friend appreciates that Yan has changed and now seems like a responsible family man. At the same time, Lanlin regains consciousness. Yan insists that she rest, as she has many bruises and her leg is twisted. She looks angry, asking why Yan didn't show up for the meeting. He discloses that earlier that day, he checked Huang's financial details and found them shady. Instead of dealing with them, he went to another company and they signed the contract. Lanlin gets so happy to know that he signed with a globally well-known company. She is thrilled that now no one will say that Yan is incapable of running the company. But as she looks a bit sad, Yan is ready to do anything to compensate for his absence. He brings the water pot and washes her feet in warm water. Afterwards, he tries to get closer, but she places a pillow between them to maintain the distance. She tells him that she needs rest because she is sick. However, she smiles at Yan's kind behavior. The next morning, Zhuan arrives at Yan's office. He is annoyed that Chen Group canceled the deal with Huang's company. Moreover, their dad removed him from his position as vice president of the company. Yan clarifies that he never wanted a big position in the company or power. Zhuan can have whatever he wants, but since Zhuan knows things are slipping away from him, he calls Yan a hypocrite and a liar who still loves another woman who died long ago. Yan loses his temper and tells Zhuan to leave his office. Soon, Yan receives a message from Lanlin saying that she has recovered and will join him in the office. Dad watches Yan working from the door and is pleased, happy that his son is his own reflection in hard work and passion toward growth. He is so happy that he got his son married to Lanlin. But in the next moment, Yan turns on the music and starts playing games, which angers his dad once again. So Dad calls Lanlin for help, and as a result, Lanlin shows up in Yan's office with divorce papers. She looks serious, but Yan tears the papers into many pieces and throws them away. Lanlin tells him that she will print the papers again because in 1 month, the board will decide if he is capable of becoming the company's CEO or not. She will only stay as his wife if he proves himself capable, or she will divorce him. He tells her to sign the deal, and Yan signs the agreement, determined to prove himself. He takes the paper and happily gets back to work. Dad is so happy to see that Yan is attending the meetings with passion and wants to prove his capability as a good CEO. He watches him briefing the team in the office and appreciates Lanlin, saying that her love has changed him. Everyone in the family is eager to make an effort to help Yan become a successful CEO. His mother gives him the files while he is sitting idly eating food. He has started working so hard that sometimes he dozes off in meetings and Dad nudges him to wake up. Now, Lanlin even tries to leave him alone in the office so he can focus on his work in a better way. But since he works late at night, the room's lights disturb Lanlin's sleep. She wakes up in the middle of the night, watches Yan working, and throws a pillow at him, asking him to leave the room and go to the guest room. Instead of sleeping in the guest room, Yan resumes his work, as he can't let Lanlin leave him at any cost. Mom and Dad watch their son immersed in work. They feel that he needs some time to enjoy life, as work-life balance is an important aspect of growing as a businessman. So Mom tells Lanlin to make some food and take it to the office for Yan. Lanlin makes chicken soup and takes it to Yan's office. She takes the files from his hands, puts them aside, and asks him to taste the soup she especially made for him. Yan perceives that Lanlin wants to divorce him so eagerly that she can't see him working and winning the agreement. So he grabs his files more tightly and asks Lanlin to return home and not disturb his work. Lanlin feels an awkward change in Yan's behavior but doesn't understand what it is. Meanwhile, Yan closes the door and promises himself that he will win the CEO position for himself so Lanlin won't divorce him. Passing through the office corridor, Lanlin sees her stepsister Ren. She taunts that Lanlin's useless husband pushed Suan down from his position, but she will regret it one day, because Yan will never be able to lead the company, and she will come to Suan begging for a position in the company. Lanlin is not afraid of what will happen, but Ren tells her some more news. All the companies that were dealing with Suan found out that his useless younger brother, Yan, has assumed the position of CEO at the company. So, they quit their deals with Chen Group. Lanlin is smart enough to have already known that Suan would take revenge for being removed from his position. But Lanlin trusts Yan and challenges Ren, saying that she will see what happens in a month. In anger, Ren pushes her away, and coincidentally, Yan grabs Lanlin in his arms. He asks her if everything is okay, but Ren shouts at Yan, accusing him of pushing Zuan away. Lanlin and Yan sit in the office, and Yan gives Lanlin a bundle of papers. He explains that these are some assets she can take with her if the company goes bankrupt. She has full trust in Yan and tells him that no matter what, she will stand behind him and they will have a better life together, which will prove everyone wrong about Yan being a useless person. A few days later, as Yan is leaving the building, he meets his old friend who used to take him to parties. He invites Yan to a party that night, where he will bring hot girls, but Yan refuses, telling him that he has to attend an important meeting. His friend appreciates that Yan now looks like a nice family guy, while Yan smiles. The friend then tells him that he could finalize a good deal with his father's company. Yan agrees, and he takes a selfie with his friend and sends it to Lanlin, informing her that he is with this friend and will be attending an event tonight. They leave for the party. Meanwhile, Lanlin is making food for Yan in the kitchen when Xuan arrives. He questions Yan's sincerity with her, while he was the one who abandoned her on her wedding day. She leaves the kitchen counter for a moment, and Xuan picks up her phone. When she returns, she snatches the phone from his hand angrily, but he smiles because, in the meantime, Xuan has deleted the message where Yan informed her that he was leaving for an event with his friend. Now, he is so excited for tonight's show, where both lovers will turn into enemies. On the other hand, when Lanlin goes to the office to give Yan lunch, the secretary informs her that Yan never arrived at the office today. He doesn't return home until late at night. His parents are also worried and feel embarrassed in front of Lanlin. Mom promises that she will scold him once he gets back home, but Lanlin tells them to go to sleep, and she will wait for him. In the meantime, Yan arrives home. He is so drunk, hanging on the shoulder of a stranger girl. Lanlin tells her that she is his wife, and Mom asks the girl to leave, saying she will never welcome such a girl into the Chen family. Suddenly, Yan lifts his head from the girl's shoulder and sees Lanlin standing in front of him. He looks at her with love and hugs her. Mom snatches Yan's coat from her hand, and Lanlin thanks her for bringing Yan home safely. Dad is furious at the girl for trying to trap his son, saying she could marry anyone else. Lanlin stops Dad, wanting to wait until Yan wakes up to hear the details of what happened. She walks Yan to her room, and Mom tells the girl to leave the house immediately. The girl exits, texting Zhuan that she tried her best to break the husband-wife relationship, but it's so strong she couldn't do anything. Now she's leaving, but wants her remaining payment. Lanlin gently drops Yan onto the bed, telling him they will talk when he regains his senses. She takes Yan's phone and starts listening to his friend's messages. One friend just texted that he will arrange a meeting for Yan with very attractive girls next time. Lanlin is furious, wanting to throw the phone, but she controls her anger and continues reading his messages. She uses his birth date to unlock the phone, but it's wrong. Then she uses her own birth date, and the lock opens. She is surprised that he knew her birthday, as she never told him. She checks the inbox and finds that in the morning, Yan sent her a message saying he would be late tonight. But she remembers that Zhuan had used her phone and deleted that message before she could read it. The next morning, Mom and Dad are waiting by Yan's bedside. Mom has a soup in her hand to help Yan recover from the hangover. She stops Dad from scolding Yan, as he doesn't remember anything from the night before. Yan suddenly remembers coming home with a girl, and he becomes worried, rushing to find Lanlin. But Lanlin hugs him, assuring him she's not angry because Zhuan planned to trap him. She asks Mom and Dad to tell Yan what they've recently discovered. Dad explains that all these years, Zhuan deliberately spread bad rumors about Yan to lead him down the wrong path. Most of those rumors were false, and Zhuan even paid people to spread them so he could ruin Yan's position and inherit everything from the Chen family. However, the Chen family will not give him a penny, and now he is where he should be. It's all thanks to Lanlin that they discovered the truth about him. He's lucky to have her as his wife, or they wouldn't have known what the truth was. They can't believe they raised such a person as their son. The next morning, Ren deliberately bumps into Yan outside the office and falls to the ground. She tries to entangle Yan with her charms, but Yan refuses to touch her, knowing her intentions. She congratulates him on becoming the company's CEO and tries to ruin Lanlin's reputation in his eyes by saying that she had a crush on a boy she met on the internet and was in love with him, but then she lost contact with him. But this new information about his wife surprises him, but he moves on toward the office. Ren stops him again, telling him that she was the one who wanted to marry him in the first place, but Lanlin took the chance. Yan ignores her and quickly walks to the office, as he's running late. Ren enters Lanlin's office, mocking her for sipping cheap tea while she orders a hand-grounded coffee for herself. She taunts Lanlin, saying that although she's become the wife of the CEO, she hasn't been able to win her husband's heart. Lanlin gets up from her seat, checking if Ren has a fever because she's being delusional, thinking that Lanlin's husband doesn't love her. Annoyed, Ren leaves, but challenges Lanlin, saying she will take Yan from her. Lanlin tells her that no one can take what's truly hers and slaps her. Enraged, Ren leaves the office, knowing she doesn't stand a chance. But she threatens that she will tell Yan all about Lanlin's past life, hoping he will hate her. Lanlin is disturbed after talking to Ren. Yan asks her what happened, but she assures him that no one at home said anything to her. It was Ren, her stepsister, who came today. She suddenly asks Yan if he met Ren, and if she said anything bad about her. Yan makes a sad face and says that Ren just told him that Lanlin was in love with a boy she met on the internet. Lanlin explains that it's part of her past, and Yan shares that he also loved a girl in the past. That girl used to look like her, and she had a sick mother. Her stepmother was cruel to her. One day, they decided to meet, but instead of meeting her, he only received a message that day saying the girl was dead. He never heard from her again. Yan tells her he wanted to take the girl away from her cruel stepmother, but she died. This stuns Lanlin because she remembers the day she was supposed to meet the boy from the internet, but suddenly her mom fell ill. She was in the ICU, and Lanlin wanted to find her father to start her mother's treatment. She went to Ren for help, and Ren told her that her father was at the Chen company, but Ren gave her the wrong address. At the same time, Lanlin saw Yan's message on her phone, and Ren told him that she was Lanlin's sister and that Lanlin was dead. After that, Ren threw away the phone. Lanlin tells Yan that it was her he loved. But after that, she got so busy earning money for her mother's treatment and enrolling in college that she never had time to think about these things. Yan hugs her, apologizing for not trying harder to find her. But now, he wants to make Ren pay for what she did. He calls his secretary and tells them to spread the news everywhere that Ren has offended the CEO of Chen Group. Anyone who deals with her or keeps her employed will be considered an enemy of Chen Group. He hangs up the call, and Lanlin smiles, seeing that Yan now looks like a real boss. She admits that she liked him when she first saw him. They smile, and the drama ends here.